Hello everyone. This is the third lesson of the unit Pakistan's Chronology 1970 till 2008. Word chronology shows the order in which a series of events take place. It also shows the arrangement of events or dates in order of their occurrence. So, chronology is the study of historical records to establish the dates of past events. In the first lesson, we have talked about the events of 1970 and 1971, which led towards the separation of East Wing of Pakistan from the West Wing. And in the second lesson, we have discussed the events happened after the partition of the two wings of Pakistan. We have seen the government policies of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto from 1971 till 1977 and Ziaul Haq from 1977 till 1988. If you haven't seen the first two videos of this unit, don't worry. You'll find the links of those two video lessons at the end of this video lesson. Today we're going to cover the time period of 1988 till 2008 by discussing the three main political leaders who have governed the country in different years during this time period. And these three personalities are Benazir Bhutto, Nawaz Sharif, and General Pervez Musharraf. After the tragic death of General Ziaul Haq, Benazir Bhutto became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. She was the first woman Prime Minister in the whole Islamic world and the youngest among the world's Prime Ministers. She was a highly educated lady. Benazir was the daughter of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. When Bhutto was killed in 1977, his wife Begum Nusrat Bhutto became the chairperson of Pakistan People's Party. Ziaul Haq put under arrest Begum Nusrat Bhutto and Benazir Bhutto because he wanted to have the control over People's Party's activities during the unrest situation created in the country due to the death of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Benazir had to stay out of the country for a long period of time during the dictatorship period of Ziaul Haq. She came back to Pakistan in 1985 because in this year martial law was ended and civil government was set up. She then took the lead of Pakistan People's Party and got united with other opposition parties to protest against the military government of Ziaul Haq. And because of her political activities, she was put under a house arrest by Ziaul Haq. In 1988, President Ziaul Haq was killed in a very suspicious aeroplane crash along with some top army staff and the US ambassador. A temporary military government was set up with Ghulam Ishaq Khan as president. Elections were held in 1988 and won by Benazir Bhutto, who became the Prime Minister with Ghulam Ishaq Khan as president. Unfortunately, her government lasted only less than 2 years. President Ghulam Ishaq Khan dismissed her on the ground of corruption. There have been very big issues of corruption in the Pakistan People's Party's first term of government. In 1990, elections were held again, which were won by Nawaz Sharif and IJI, Islami Jamhuri Ittihad or Islamic Democratic Alliance. Nawaz Sharif belonged to a family of investors and businessmen. When Zulfikar Ali Bhutto took over the basic industries, banks, insurance companies and schools, then also Nawaz Sharif's family lost their steel and other mills because of the process of nationalization. After this incident, Nawaz Sharif decided to enter in the politics and joined Pakistan Muslim League. Nawaz Sharif became the finance minister during the government. In his government, Nawaz Sharif started the process of privatization of enterprises which had been taken over by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's government. In his government, he also promised to settle the differences with India over the issue of Kashmir. Nawaz Sharif did not have good terms with President Ghulam Ishaq Khan. He was once dismissed by the president, but on his appeal, the Constitutional Court allowed him to remain the Prime Minister of Pakistan. But the conflicts between both of them kept on growing, and the time came when both of them had to resign. In the new elections held in October 1993, the PPP won, and Benazir Bhutto again became the Prime Minister. This time, she nominated Farooq Ahmad Laghari as President because she considered him a trustworthy person who will always be loyal with her and her party. Relations with India got worse, and both countries admitted that they have the nuclear capability. The dispute between Pakistan and India had always existed because of the issue of Kashmir, but now, in the decade of 90s, the conflicts between the two countries got severe because of the nuclear capability of both countries. During the second term of Benazir in 1993 till 1996, bombings and political violence spread through the country, especially in Lahore. There was instability and protest across the country. President Laghari dismissed Benazir and her government at the end of 1996. New elections brought former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif back to the power with a huge majority. He began a vast program to boost exports and industry. He reduced prices and gave people jobs. During his government, Pakistan borrowed huge sum of money from IMF and the World Bank to boost the failing economy of Pakistan. He was also able to force the National Assembly to pass a law which reduced the power of President to dismiss Parliament. President Laghari unexpectedly resigned in December 1997 and was replaced by Nawaz Sharif's friend Muhammad Rafiq Tarar. This new president reinforced Nawaz Sharif's power. In 1998, when India tested its nuclear capability in early May. In response to India's testing, also Pakistan exploded its nuclear bomb at Chagi, Balochistan in the same month of May in 1998. In 1999, the ex-Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto and her husband Asif Ali Zardari were found guilty of corruption in a Pakistani court. They were sentenced to a prison term and had to pay fine of 8.6 million US dollars. Benazir Bhutto was out of country at that time and remained in exile till October 2007, while her husband was arrested and jailed in Pakistan. Year 1999 was full of significant events happened in Pakistan's history and especially in Nawaz Sharif's political career. In 1999, India's Prime Minister Vajpayee travelled by bus from New Delhi to Lahore. He had to sign a treaty with Nawaz Sharif for not using the nuclear weapons. This effort of the two prime ministers was very good, but actually they were unaware of the activities of Pak Army on Kargil mission. Pakistani troops and Kashmiri fighters entered Indian-controlled territory from Kargil, and after furious Indian attacks, the situation developed into all-out war for 8 weeks. Pakistan then agreed to withdraw, and the uneasy peace resumed, with occasional raids resulting losses on both sides. The decision of stopping this war was of Nawaz Sharif because of the international pressure and also because of the serious consequences of India's reaction. Now the army had to end the war and come back. General Pervez Musharraf was not happy with this decision of Nawaz Sharif. Not only him, but the majority of Pakistani people turned against Nawaz Sharif. These conflicts between Musharraf and Nawaz Sharif got so much serious that Nawaz Sharif decided to dismiss Musharraf while he was on his visit to Sri Lanka. And when Musharraf was coming back to Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif did not allow his plane to land in Pakistani airports. Because of this extreme step of Nawaz Sharif, the army officers got together and removed Nawaz Sharif from the post of Prime Minister. They put him into jail, and Pervez Musharraf became the chief executive and imposed martial law in the country. In 2000, General Pervez Musharraf began the process of accountability. Supreme Court allowed the army government to take over and rule the country for 3 years. And in 2001, General Pervez Musharraf became the President of Pakistan. 11 September 2001 was the day when the 2 huge buildings of World Trade Center in New York were attacked by the aeroplanes. And Taliban from Afghanistan admitted that they have done so. Being the neighboring country of Afghanistan, this incident brought Pakistan into the world focus. Musharraf agreed to help USA for reaching to the Taliban. And in return, Pakistan received generous financial support from the Western powers and especially from USA. Even though the rule of General Pervez Musharraf was not totally civilian or democratic, it gave Pakistan 4 years of relative stability. The National Assembly was dissolved in November 2007 on completion of its 5 years term. This was the first time ever in the history of Pakistan that the National Assembly completed its term. And it happened under the leadership of General Pervez Musharraf. He was re-elected president in October 2007. But he took some steps against the constitution and judiciary, which made his government unpopular. Benazir returned to the country for the elections of 2007, but she was tragically killed while returning from an election rally in Rawalpindi. Her death shook the country and the world. The elections were postponed and held in February 2008. The PPP won a majority. Syed Yusuf Raza Gilani became the Prime Minister. President Musharraf resigned in August 2008, and Asif Ali Zardari, Benazir's husband and co-chairman of Pakistan People's Party, was elected as president in September 2008.